Hey, what's going on, guys? Bob Mentality here, and today I want to talk to you about Roku. So, Roku has been my favorite ticker to trade this week, and I have a feeling for many, many weeks to come. This thing moves, guys. And I had seen people talk about the ticker earlier this year when it was doing this run up down here from 37 all the way up through 60, 70. But I'd glanced at the chart, but I never looked at the options prices to see how they moved. And guys, these things rip. Pretty much almost every day this week, you could have traded both sides of this thing and absolutely banked. These options move, and what's nice about it is it's a lower price stock, so kind of like Square. If you have a smaller account, you can trade it without having to put a lot down into the options. Whereas on BYND, I might have to buy a $6 contract. On Roku, you're paying for a dollar contracts, right? $1.50. So it's really nice in that regard. And like I said, it's very volatile in those options premiums, and there's so much money to be made, guys. So in today's video, I'm just going to go over exactly what I did this week on Roku specifically, and how much money I made from it. And I want to show you how trading isn't as easy as you think, guys. I am definitely not perfect, and early this week there was a big miss on Roku where I could have made a ton of money, and I totally I screwed it up. So I'll show it to you guys, but I made up for it later in the week. So with the big picture, Roku, it IPO'd over here at 15. It's been pretty much killing the game since. This year we're up from 36. We're all the way up here around 110. All-time highs is at 108.32. And right now we're at around 103. And this is the weekly chart, by the way. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into the past 20 days. What I want you to see from here is there's the high of day, which was on the 20th of last month. We saw a pullback, horizontal consolidation. We got a downgrade from an analyst. And then since that downgrade, we've been ripping to the upside, right? And it looks like we have a pretty good shot at retesting all-time highs soon. So I'll be keeping an eye on that. You better believe that. And if not, we've got plenty of room down from 103 to 100 and 100 all the way down here to that previous breakout line of 95. So just keep that in mind, bigger picture time frame. So what we're looking at here when I took my trades over the past 3 days, it was the 10th, 9th, and the 8th. Those are the trades for this week. And we've already had 2 strong green days in a row, and Roku has proven it can really rip to the upside and is really resilient. And so that's kind of the background to what I'm going to be showing you here today. So I'm going to go to the 5-day, 5-minute chart. So the first trade I want to show you is where I messed up, guys. So pretty much what happened, we remember we had seen since that analyst downgrade, we saw a huge up day, followed by a sideways day, followed by a huge up day again, and then we had the day I traded it right here, which was Monday. So it was right after the weekend, guys, right after 4th of July weekend. I'm thinking it's going to be low volume. I'm worried, I know it wants to get to 100, but I didn't know, if we would pull back and have another one of these type days, right, of consolidation before we go. So I was really worried, guys, and it was the first trade of the week, and so I totally screwed it up. So what I ended up doing was let me zoom in here for you guys, and I'll go to the 1 day, 1 minute so you can get the actual accurate effect. Let's see, where's my 20-day, 1 minute? I'll bring it back. Right here. So I will zoom in on how I screwed this trade up. So pretty much what happened is, we got the market open, and I'm expecting this thing to rip to 100. So what do? I see it pull back here below VWAP, push up above pre-market highs, and we get that pullback to pre-market highs right here. That was my long entry signal, so I went ahead and hopped in. I got 10 of the 101 calls at $1.64. Okay, great. I got some decent size, to get a position in there. This thing, these contracts can rip to $2-3. That's how Roku works. So I would be very happy with a $1,000 to $2,000 profit, right? So I'm in Roku here at the 101 calls right there at the open on that pullback to the consolidation on highs. I'm thinking we're going to rip. Sure enough, we push up here to 99. We see this pullback here, another push up, and then we pulled back, and I pushed up a little bit more and pulled back. And actually, you know what? I might have got him on this second pullback. I think I did get him on this second pullback above VWAP. But I got him at $1.64. And then this is what I saw in my mind, guys. And it's so silly looking back, especially when you zoom out on the chart and see how far we ran this day. But again, it was right off the holiday weekend. I was worried about, like I said, I was worried about low volume. And I was just worried something was going to happen. So I'm holding this thing through this test of 99.50 once, pull back, a second test of 99.50, and pull back. Guys, for absolutely no reason, I just freaked out and I said, I don't like the double top here. It's going to turn over. It's going to be that consolidation day. I'm done. I don't want this thing to drop to $1.30 a contract and I lose $300. So I bailed. It was like right on this red candle right here is when I sold my contracts. I ended up getting out of those at $1.70. So I made $60 on these. Okay. And I kid you not, within 2 minutes, this thing rips and gets my payday up to 100. My contracts are now trading at like $2. Okay. And then if that's not bad enough, I didn't re-enter that whole day. I didn't touch it. I was just like, oh man, it's going to turn back around. And this was the day right here. I stopped out below that red line. This was the day when we continued up and trended all day. And I could have made thousands of dollars up here, guys, off that same position size. So this is what I wanted to show you that I missed. I messed up. I could have made way more money. Welcome to trading, guys. This is what happens. You think dumb stuff and you don't follow the chart. It's trending over VWAP. It's over pre-market highs. You bought on a dip. Hold it. And I didn't hold it. And it kept going. And I didn't dip buy based on a VWAP support. I just let it go. So you know what I made, guys? A huge killing. $60. So I remembered that for the rest of the week, and I made up for it. I will say I made up for it. So that's the first day. I didn't trade it again this day. The next day on Roku, okay, I'm looking, okay, we could see strength or we could see weakness. This was heading into, this was the 9th, which was Tuesday. So I'm thinking maybe people are going to be worried about the Powell speech, right? We might see a little bit of weakness. But my thought process is Roku has bullishly diverged from the SPY before. It might do it again. So what I was watching was, are we red or are we green? Very simple, right? Are we rejecting pre-market highs or are we breaking down, are we breaking down below pre-market lows? That's what I was watching. So what I was expecting, if it was going to be a bullish day, was it to do something like this. Okay, I'll zoom in. It pulls back, pushes up and tests this red to green line, and then it breaks it, holds it, and then goes. That's what I was looking for it to get over VWAP. But I was thinking we could see a pullback after so many strong days in a row, guys. If you go back to the 5-day, 5-minute, just, I'll go a little bit bigger than that there. Just look at this. Ever since that downgrade, up, up. I'm thinking we could see some pullback, at least down to $100, right? And that's exactly what I told my chat room. I said, I'm looking to get puts on this thing if we can't hold that red to green move. So what ended up happening? Exactly that. The market opened up a little bit weak here. I'm watching pre-market highs. Pretty much pre-market highs aligned perfectly with the red to green line. So I was using that as a resistance point. We saw a pullback, a push. I got my puts right here on this wick. The puts I ended up getting were the 101 puts because I was thinking we could get a pullback on 100, right? But the 101 just seemed like a good strike for me to pick. Got those at $1.33. I sold them a little bit later at $1.75 for a $420 profit, and I'll show you where I sold them. Got the puts. We didn't get over highs in base. We held as resistance. Got the first flush. That's when I knew I was good. Then we got this second flush when we were at about $101.50. This is where I took them off. So looking back, as you can see, I definitely could have held. Okay, because we ended up pulling all the way down to a low on the day of 162. So really, there was about a 90-cent difference there I could have capitalized on, about $1 if I would have just waited. But I took them off on this pullback. I was happy, right? I didn't know if this thing was going to rip back up to the red to green line because we've been so bullish in the past. But that's where I took them off. So we pushed back up, pulled back. I could have made a little bit more money, but $420 in like 15 minutes, guys, come on. You're happy with that. You can't be mad at it. So. Sure enough, later in the day, Roku did end up recouping, getting back over VWAP, and actually closing pretty dang strong. We took the whole move back. So part of me's happy I stopped out there. Part of me's wishing I would at least waited for a 5-minute higher low and got more profit. But again, $420 in 15 minutes, you can't beat that. So that brings me to my final trade on Roku today. So pretty much what ended up happening was, we did get that Powell news, and pretty much he said, hey guys, so things are pretty bad out here on the streets, and that cut seems we're still basically the market interpreted it as it's likely that there's still going to be a cut because he's saying there's still issues with the economy, and so now what we had is a huge bullish response to that. If you go back over here to the SPY. You can see what happened pre-market. This is what I was looking at pre-market. This huge rip to the upside. This is mirrored on a lot of different stocks. A lot of stocks were gapping up huge. I'm thinking that the bullishness will roll over to Roku a little bit. So I'm thinking the bullishness would continue in Roku. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to get calls because I thought this was the day we could go back to all-time highs at 108. If there was a day we're gonna do it, it'd be today, right? So seeing Roku gap up like this, remember the opposite of this, gapping down and curling to the open, this thing was pushing up and holding into the open. So I wanted to get calls at the open. Right away, I was looking to hop in those calls. And of course, what am I looking at as far as support goes? I want to see it break over pre-market highs, hold pre-market highs, and also hold VWAP. That's what I was looking for this move. So right at the open, I market bought. I got into 20. I sized up this time because I was feeling more confident. 20 on the 106 calls. I filled between 134. So I got like 8 contracts at 134 and then 12 contracts at 140. And what I ended up doing was I market bottom in here. I didn't even get the best fill. I could have got a fill 20 cents lower, but I wanted to be in quick because I knew this thing was going to rip. I was up pretty much instantly. And then on this second push, we saw a pullback and then a retest of that. This is the candle I took off my contracts there. So I got the 106 calls. I was in at about 140. I sold 15 of them at 170. The reason being because if we started trending like we've seen in the past, if we would have pulled back to VWAP and kept going and went for all-time highs, I wanted to have some on the table. That didn't happen, however. We ended up failing VWAP. So when I set my stop loss, I bought them in here. My stop loss was right here, right below VWAP. That would have got me out at a slight profit if it would have dropped down. So I set a stop there at 145. And here we go. I got out the other 5 contracts out of 20 at $1.45 because we didn't hold VWAP. It turns out this was not the day we were going to head to all-time highs, and we pulled back, rejected, and then we sold off pretty heavily for the next couple hours. I did not get in the put side in this. I only traded the calls. Why did I only trade the calls? Because it was a $523 profit in, just a couple minutes, guys. Like you can't beat that. I'm very satisfied with that. But as you can see, pretty much every day on Roku, you can make money both sides. If you don't get the calls up here, you can make way more money on the puts. If you don't get the puts right here, you can buy looking for the bounce there on the calls. This thing is insane and it offers so much opportunity. And it's, guys, I didn't think I would say this, but it's getting dang close to being a favorite as far as a daily trader as BYND has been for the past couple months. So those are my 3 trades on Roku. It totaled to be a profit of $1,003 in 3 days. If you look at it, I only worked for probably about 30 minutes. It's pretty great. I'll take that. I'm really happy with it. So I hope this demonstrated how sometimes you might not trade it perfectly, even though you have the right idea and you miss out. But as long as you stay focused and set your game plan pre-market, make sure you have your risk parameters set, your size set, your profit taking area set, and you respond and you act quick, you can still bounce back from that. So yeah, that's all I have. Wow, we're already at 13 minutes, guys. So that's it. I cannot wait to do some technical analysis and my thoughts for Roku heading into tomorrow because, guys, we look at this consolidation, guys. Look at this consolidation. I'm ready. I want to get that 108. I want to see all-time highs. But are we going to do that? Or are we going to break down? So I will be discussing that with my room tonight. And I will work out a game plan on this one heading in tomorrow. If you're interested in joining the room, there's information for that on my Patreon, guys. If you have any questions or need more information, shoot me an email, hit me on Twitter, hit me up on Instagram, comment in this comment section below, and I will get back with you as soon as I can. Guys, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Continue to stay focused on developing that bot mentality, which is the trading mentality, where you learn to eliminate your emotions so you can trade like a machine, guys. I'm out of here. Deuces.